Have you ever had a dream so big, so all-consuming, that you knew you were born to achieve it? For Brian Banks, that dream was playing in the NFL. He was a high school football prodigy, a linebacker with incredible talent, ranked among the nation's best. Top universities like us were knocking on his door. His future seemed paved with gold, leading straight to the bright lights of professional football. But in the summer of 2002, his life took a horrifying detour. A single false accusation shattered his world. Everything he had worked for, everything he was, vanished overnight. Brian was accused of a crime he did not commit. He was just 16 years old, a kid with a promising future, suddenly facing the terrifying reality of the legal system. His accuser was a classmate, and the story she told turned his life into a nightmare. Despite his innocence, the evidence seemed stacked against him. Faced with the daunting possibility of spending 41 years to life behind bars if he lost at trial, his lawyer gave him an impossible choice. Plead no contest, admit to something you didn't do, and serve a much shorter sentence, or fight for your innocence and risk losing your entire life. Terrified and confused, Brian took the plea deal. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison and 5 years of strict parole. Just like that, the football prodigy became a convicted felon. His college scholarship offers were rescinded. His NFL dream was dead. Imagine the darkness of that moment. The loss, the confusion, the crushing weight of injustice. Inside those prison walls, Brian was surrounded by despair. But amidst the hopelessness, a fire still burned within him. He refused to let this be the end of his story. He read every law book he could get his hands on, teaching himself the intricacies of the legal system that had failed him so profoundly. He spent 5 long, grueling years behind bars and another 5 on parole, shackled by an electronic ankle monitor and the stigma of a crime he never committed. He couldn't go within a certain distance of schools or parks, making it nearly impossible to live a normal life, let alone pursue any semblance of his old dream. The label of a registered sex offender was a life sentence of its own. But Brian never gave up hope. He knew the truth, and he was determined to prove it. A turning point came when his accuser, Juanetta Gibson, reached out to him on social media, seeking to let bygones be bygones. This was the opening Brian needed. With the help of the California Innocence Project, a nonprofit organization dedicated to exonerating the wrongfully convicted, he secretly recorded a confession from her. In the recording, Gibson admitted that she had fabricated the entire story. She confessed that there was no crime, no assault, no truth to the accusation that had stolen a decade of his life. It was the bombshell evidence he had prayed for. With this new, undeniable proof of his innocence, Brian and the California Innocence Project went back to court. On May 24, 2012, a judge looked at the evidence and did what should have been done 10 years prior. The conviction was overturned. Brian Banks was officially exonerated. As he walked out of the courthouse, a free man in the truest sense of the word, he wasn't bitter. He was focused. He had his name back. He had his life back. And now, he wanted his dream back. It sounds like a movie plot, right? But this was his reality. At 26 years old, after a decade away from the game, Brian Banks decided to chase his NFL dream once again. A decade is an eternity in sports. Most athletes are retiring at that age, not starting their careers. His body had been through the trauma of prison, not the elite training of a Division I football program. The odds were astronomically against him, but Brian had faced worse odds. He started training relentlessly, pushing his body to its limits, trying to reclaim the explosive power and agility he once had. His incredible story of perseverance and redemption captured the nation's attention. Several NFL teams invited him for tryouts, including the Kansas City Chiefs, the San Diego Chargers, and the Seattle Seahawks, whose head coach Pete Carroll had actually recruited Brian for us all those years ago. It was a full-circle moment. While he didn't make the final roster for those teams, his journey wasn't over. In 2013, he finally achieved the impossible. He signed a contract with the Atlanta Falcons. He played in the preseason, stepping onto that professional field, wearing an NFL uniform. He had done it. Brian Banks, the man who lost everything, had made it to the NFL. Though his professional football career was brief, the victory was monumental. It was never just about playing a game. It was about reclaiming a life that was stolen from him. It was about proving that the human spirit is stronger than any prison, stronger than any lie. Today, Brian Banks is a powerful public speaker and an advocate for the wrongly convicted. He works with the Innocence Project, the very organization that helped free him, to fight for others who are trapped in the same nightmare he endured. His story was even turned into a major motion picture, sharing his message of hope and resilience with the world. Brian's journey teaches us that it's never too late to fight for the truth. It shows us the incredible power of perseverance in the face of unimaginable adversity. He could have surrendered to bitterness and despair, and no one would have blamed him. Instead, he chose to fight, to educate himself, and to believe in a future that seemed impossible. He turned the greatest injustice into his greatest purpose, ensuring that no one else suffers the way he did. His story isn't just a football story. It's a testament to the strength of the human will and the enduring quest for justice. Thank you for watching. If Brian's story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more incredible true stories.